It's one small step for man, one giant leap for the Mad Cinema Show. I'm Scott G.
And I'm Phil D.
We're going into space this episode, Philip. Are you excited? Are you ready? Are you prepared for this? Have you taken your vitamins? Have you gone through your training?
I talked to Dr. Spaceman.
You talked to Dr. Spaceman. What did Dr. Spaceman say? Say you're ready, cleared for the mission?
No, he said I had diabetes.
Oh.
Anyway, today's episode is a look at so I got to start this out by saying I bought Interstellar on 4K Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And I watched it and decided we got to talk about this.
Yeah, we do.
But I wanted to compare it with something.
Right.
And thought about the closest film I could think of. It came out within a year of each other.
Yeah. So we had so we're going to be covering Interstellar.
Mm-hmm.
That came out in 2014,
Yep.
directed by Christopher Nolan. And The Martian, which came out a year later, 2015, directed by Ridley Scott.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
And we're going to be unfairly comparing these movies.
Oh, yeah. We're just going to bludgeon them with our thoughts.
That's right.
Well, I remember when The Martian came out.
Right.
And I saw Interstellar a little late. So it was like when when Martian came out, I watched Interstellar recently, and then I watched Martian right after that.
Yeah.
And of course, I like both of these movies. Both of them are awesome.
Both
especially,
of them are total great movies.
Mm-hmm. On a first watch, both of them are pretty
fantastic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They're if anything, both of them are a good experience. Both of them are a good popcorn flick, even if you're just like not paying much attention and just wow, this looks cool, or wow, he did that
pretty
thing.
much. Yeah,
both of them are good just to whatever,
just to look at,
right?
You know.
And at the time, I remember having a buddy, and saying, oh hey, Martian was cool, but I sure do like Interstellar more. And he was like, nah, man, Martian's a better movie. I was like, are you kidding me? Interstellar's so cool. Yeah. They made that black hole. They used math to make that black hole. It looks right and everything.
They did so much research.
They scienced the shit out of that movie.
Fuck yeah.
Right? So, but he was like, yeah, I don't know, man. Martian's a better movie. And I always put that in my back pocket. I was like, pshaw.
Yeah. But now...
Until about a week ago.
Yeah.
And then I all of a sudden was like, fuck, he's very right. This movie doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so it was like we immediately started texting each other these past couple of times after we watched it, because we actually watched this one separately.
Yeah.
We watched Interstellar separately.
Yeah.
And it was really funny, because I know last night when I started Interstellar, my first, what was the first message that I sent to you?
You said the first act of this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. The first act of this is completely frivolous and pointless and doesn't really make it a whole lot of sense. Oh, that's what it was. Why the fuck are they sending a corn farmer who happened to stumble across a secret NASA base, and now they're sending him into space because he knows Michael Caine?
Yeah, man.
Which again, in retrospect, the first act does make a little bit more sense, logically. And it's like I said to you, the story beats make sense, now, because of course they'd send him into space. NASA's not, this is far into the future, in the middle of a second Dust Bowl. And food scarcity is the biggest world problem right now. So NASA is literally just an independent organization at this point.
And he's almost like a last-ditch effort anyway.
Pretty much. And he's the only person who's he's the only pilot that they have.
And he's flown the craft that
he was like a test. He was like a test pilot
for those crafts.
Yeah. So again, the beats, they click into place. Mm-hmm. Those make sense. I think it's the editing of that first scene, because it does that. That whole first act seems very rushed.
Yeah.
It's like I told you. It's like maybe the movie was potentially 30 minutes longer, in its original work print.
Yeah.
And the studio was just like, you gotta cut down a little bit of time, man. We gotta get this, we gotta get as many showings in theaters as we can now. And Nolan was just like, "We'll take out all the human parts." Yes. We gotta get to the black hole.
We'll just turn.
We did so much math for this black hole. We gotta keep the black hole.
It's so much math. It's so much math. Look how right it is.
Right.
Carl Sagan would be so proud of this black hole.
Yeah. But that I really do think is like the main flaw in this movie, and why it ends up being a little less interesting on the rewatch, because you know, Christopher Nolan, you know, director bot 9000 over here, does not understand human emotion.
You
know, and like I told you before, this script was originally written for like Spielberg.
Yeah.
You know? And in the hands of someone like Spielberg, who is very good at digging into the human aspects of his more fantastical stories, you know, he would have probably knocked this out of the park.
I would even say that Spielberg his shortcomings are on the technical side of the
a little
story.
bit more of the technical side, but you know, again, this movie still looks amazing. And at the time when they get in the space,
it's great.
It like even the story and the acting and like even a lot of the human drama actually levels out a little bit.
It does.
I
really
honestly feel like if you just cut out, you really couldn't cut it out.
Yeah, because it wouldn't make you care about what's going on with the rest of it, and then you wouldn't really understand why he cares about making a time loop, which makes the whole thing happen in the first place.
It's really like you need the beginning so you have the ending, but the best part of the movie is in the middle.
Yeah, but man, he did totally Terminator it with this one.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
where you're just going like, well, but if he that doesn't no.
Yeah, no. It's like, what did you really think about this?
Because my complaint was this to Scott. Called you know, after I watched this movie, which, you know what, by the way, real quick, just because we're talking about the good things, you know, I think the acting is really well done.
Yeah.
I can't remember the dude's name off the top of my head. The crewmate that stays behind. He was also in Annihilation, because he was the dude that Natalie Portman was cheating on her husband with.
Is that Weiss Bennett? No, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he I have no idea what the dude's name is.
David Gacy,
I guess.
Yeah.
He let me see. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
So that whole like when they see him when they come back after 23 years.
Yeah.
And he's crazy.
He's just all gray.
He is visibly crazy, not just gray. Like he's like not really making eye contact, and it's almost like he's like, "Are you real?" Or
he's like, "Is this a mirage?"
Right, I'm not
like,
sure.
Have I actually snapped?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. When she's like, "What? You know, why didn't you sleep?"
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know if you guys were ever coming back. Yeah. And
yeah,
it's not
man.
like, and what is it like? What is he? Well, it's not like he can fly anything.
No, he's just another scientist.
He's
I'm
just
not really
another
sure what he
scientist.
does.
Yeah.
Astrophysicist man.
I gotcha.
But
yeah,
like that. You know, the acting in Interstellar.
The acting is solid.
It's
yeah.
very solid.
Yeah.
You know, old, you know, Mumbles McConaughey.
Yeah, dude.
Causes some problems.
Look, Matthew McConaughey, man, I love you, dude, but you gotta speak up, man.
Gotta speak
for
up,
real.
buddy.
Like that is, and I don't even think it's wholly his fault.
Yeah, but it's a consistent fucking problem in all of his movies,
in all
and
of his
shows
movies.
and shit. Well, maybe not all of them, but the majority of them.
But that seems to be a thing that's just been picked up by movies. It's a flat circle. What'd you say?
It's a flat
what? I can't hear you. Can you guys hear this? But like,
point your face towards the fucking mic.
That's exactly.
Where's the boom guy? What are you doing?
Yeah. But no, that's a problem that I've noticed kind of is consistent for, like, you know, post 2010 movies just in general.
Oh yeah.
Like during
Mixing
a lot
is an
of the
issue.
speaking part. Yeah, like the fucking R&D is just like it's like two different people are leveling, you know, one's leveling the speaking parts and one's leveling the action parts, and the dude with the action parts, because like you know, it gets super fucking loud. But anytime someone's like talking, you know, the story,
so I'd like
you can't hear any of it.
I'd like to comment on that specifically when it comes to the like technical aspect of the mixing side of things, because when I watched it, you know, I got this 4K Blu-ray. I was like, Interstellar's beautiful. This is gonna be the 4K Blu-ray to watch.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a handful others I'm thinking of. Like, I really do want to get Annihilation and you know, other pretty films, but you know, fucking Interstellar. It's gorgeous.
It is. It is beautiful.
Oh, weird.
Oh.
So the mixing in the film seems a little off to me. Like, it's I was trying to pay attention to the picture quality and make sure that all my settings are correct.
Right.
And you know, I've been having some issues with my stereo in general, but distortion definitely has never been one of them. I've never had an issue with the sound sounding like it's like crushed because of a limiter or sounding like it's hitting the headroom of the input gain or something like that. And there are quite a few times in this film, and I mean, if you're watching on shitty TV speakers, pretty much every time you watch anything with the Hans Zimmer music, you get it's gonna fuck the shit up. Like if you're watching Sicario,
this is so important. Yeah, you know, Hans Zimmer.
Yeah, Hans Zimmer. So, but other than that, like the every scene that is in the spaceship, it's like the volume absolutely hits the limiter's threshold so hard that it brick walls it like modern metal. You know, and it makes it to where it just brick wall and crushes the fuck out of it. And I've heard all these people online explain the film as having some supreme audio dynamics. Yeah. It's amazing, the audio dynamics that he mixed into this movie. And I'm sure you could look at it that way because it's like, well, you get, you know, Mr. Mumbles, and then you get
and then oh no, something's happening.
And so yeah, there's a big difference in what you're saying.
Absolutely.
I don't find that to be a bonus to the film.
No,
especially when it makes it hard to tell what's going on. Like the Michael Caine when he's dying scene, you can't fucking understand what he's saying.
Yeah,
you know?
And to some degree I can understand that, but like, just, you know, here's a man on his deathbed, like, but still, like, he's actually saying some important shit.
He is, yeah.
You know?
Oh, it needs to be vague. Well,
it's
then why
not
is he saying the line if it needs to be vague? No, man. Like, that's just, no.
Yeah, no.
That's
well,
weak.
And it's not even that. It's just like he's actually articulating pretty well for a man who's literally on his deathbed. Okay?
That's a mixing issue.
That's a mixing issue, not a deliver the lines issue.
And that's a consistent problem with this film. It's all over the place, mixed in a way that either makes it difficult to hear dialogue, crushed and distorted when it's loud, or it's in this nice medium range where everything's kind of cool.
Yeah.
There are some scenes like where they're in the truck and the dirt is hitting the truck, and you know, having the surround sound on, you can really hear like this sandstorm around you kind of thing.
Yeah.
Those sound great.
And it helps. It helps with you know, building the atmosphere and the you know, tension and whatnot.
But
you know?
when you have a bunch of astronauts sitting in a cockpit trying to talk to each other, and the music is cranked to, you know, plus 16 decibels to the point to where it's fucking, you know, busting everything.
Right.
It's like hood subwoofer cranked, like that kind of shit. You know. You know. You ever sat in one of those cars where they have such ridiculous subs that like when you it's like it's vibrating the sound coming out of your mouth. So when you try to talk to somebody, it has that wobble to it.
Yeah.
That's what you're hearing.
Yeah,
during
pretty
the thing.
much.
So I mean, I'm sure that there's some kind of Christopher Nolan, well, that's what it would really sound like if you were in a thing. Dude, we're watching a movie.
Yeah.
You're supposed to make it to where I can tell what the fuck's happening in your weird movie.
Right.
Please just make that easy for me.
Yeah.
You know? And the audio issues are like a bigger problem to me than the plot problem.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah. Well, because like the plot ends up leveling out to some degree.
It still doesn't make a shit ton of sense.
Yeah,
but
it gets a little silly by the end, and I've heard so many people complain about the end. I don't really mind it.
Well, I don't hate it, but it just doesn't make sense with the timeline.
Yeah,
you know. So if you don't mind, I'll
so because we almost forgot that, Philip. What had happened?
Oh, yeah. see, Mr. Whispers had his secret adventures as the ghost in the bookcase.
Yeah, okay.
That's what had
a
happened.
Pretty good plot summary right there. I'd say that's right on the money there.
Mr. Whispers.
Thanks, Mr. Whispers.
And he's not a cat. He's a McConaughey.
Yeah. Very different.
Very different. You don't give your cats whiskey.
No.
You do give them McConaughey whiskey.
You do give a McConaughey whiskey.
So, yeah, it's I'm not going to go into the super details of both of these movies. We're not doing the nitty-gritty point to point, okay? You guys just watch Interstellar.
They've been out. They've both been out for
this
years now, and they're two of some of that year's better movies.
Yeah, but we're going to spoil this shit like milk like we always do.
Yeah, dude.
Now, this one's just really bothersome to me because the whole film is talking about like it's an idea of time dilation, and it's an idea of outrunning your life or that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's almost like Click in space. No, not really. Not really.
No,
not at all.
Not really.
Man, Adam Sandler would have made this movie so much better.
Kind of
what
has...
if Adam Sandler was in this? You know?
Oh man, dude, Adam
Thanks
Sandler
for
would have
explaining to me how a wormhole works, asshole. But anyway, so there's this idea that they get a certain play amount close to a black hole, and time starts to shift to where their perceived time is much slower than the rest of everything else, right? So time dilation.
Yeah,
okay?
time dilation.
So we have a planet here that is small that they need to go to that makes time go much faster for everybody else, and their time is much slower. Like I think it's like 4 hours is like fucking 23 years or some shit like that. Maybe it's like 7 hours. It's not a long time, you know?
Exactly.
So the way that that one works. Okay, so we have McConaughey, who has an 11-year-old girl, and at that point in time, he tells her that he doesn't know what time he's coming back, and they might be the same age.
Yeah.
And so, okay, so then, so she's like 11, and then they go into this time thing, and then it's like, this is probably a year later out of space, okay? And then there's like a 23-year gap here because the time dilation from going down to the planet, something fucked up. They have to come back up. Dude's crazy, but so there's 23 years accounted for. After a certain amount of time, they never make another mention of causing another time dilation shift. They never really make that mention. Not
really, not until like the very end when he jumps into the black hole.
When he jumps into the black hole.
Yeah.
Not she. So I can't remember what her doctor
it's Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, it's Anne Hathaway's character.
Yeah.
But is it weird that this whole movie I was thinking like, man,
Dr. Brand.
You were so much hotter as Catwoman. I mean, she's still really cute. I'm not saying
absolutely.
But Jesus, Catwoman.
Catwoman. Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
the only reason to watch Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, man, you don't like that chuckle? You don't like that? Come on,
Bane, man.
Yeah,
just kills me.
Anyway,
I was born there
in the darkness. So the they send him into this black hole, and it's basically, they're talking about how she's trying to continue to go straight, so to make sure that she has a consistent velocity, they're going to lose weight over time, right? So they have to do a first discharge, which is Tar's, second discharge, which is him. And when they do the second discharge, she's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, 90%. Like he likes that 90% whiskey. He's like, remember 90%.
Remember 90%.
I'm gonna get fucked up when we see each other again.
Yeah.
All right. And then
he goes into a black hole.
And then he goes into a black hole. So I can see the time dilation happening for him. And then he pops out of the other side of the black hole after interacting with the bookcase tesseract. And then, my other word for it, Carl Sagan's wet dream.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
yes.
Oh man, I've always wanted to be in you, Tesseract. He's staring into that little cube in his hands.
Yeah, for real.
So once he pops out on the other side, though, at that point, he is found by the space program that has already built this fucking Gundam Macross,
like
gravity
Halo
station
with a center
totally.
mount,
centrifuge station, that kind of thing, and so it's kind of like the
people are
station
literally
that they
living
showed.
in like suburbs on this like space station,
which is probably the beginnings of what they were building at that moment. They just hadn't got it to that point. right?
hadn't done it yet.
So dope. Okay, that's really cool. They got it launched.
Humanity lives.
Right, humanity lives.
It was Murph the whole time.
And
his
Murph
daughter
is like fucking 90 something. She's like 94 or something.
At least.
Okay, so that means he's popped out. Let's do some shitty math. I don't know, 50 years ahead. Okay, something like that. Whatever. So 50 years in the future at this point, he is then told by Murph, well, why don't you go find her? And he's talking about Dr. Brand.
Yeah, Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
And it turns out she's the same age and is just starting this colony right now. So that means that somewhere in there they
maybe
didn't think about some math.
A little bit. I could say that maybe the planet that she's currently on, since it's not specifically Earth, it would have a level of time dilation as well.
Yeah, but that's a fucking lot.
That
is
maybe it's only been a few days
for her.
Or maybe a week or a couple months, because she's at that planet and she's
but the whole
already
reason
popped
that
up
they
the
were,
station.
I don't know, man. That's hard to say. I guess I can see what you're saying, because I guess the planet that they were going to land on, the water planet, would be within the black hole's time dilation, and they were potentially going to use that one as Earth's.
Yeah, that was one of the test things, because this is essentially what happened. They had these things called the Lazarus mission, and this was like the last piece of that puzzle, essentially. Okay, so basically what happens is the Earth is, again, there's hardly any food. Just about everybody on Earth is pretty much a farmer. Because they have this thing about, like, his son. They have like a parent-teacher conference, and he's asking, well, what about college, and what about this? And he's just like, we don't need more, astrophysicists. We need farmers, because we
need food.
Yeah, yeah. And so basically they're looking for another habitable planet that we could potentially colonize, and just say, fuck Earth, this place is way too dusty. I got to keep my plates upside down,
What's up, Earth 2?
Yeah, exactly. Earth 2 right here.
Not the one with Anti-Flash or whatever.
Yeah,
What's his name?
Fucking, I don't remember. I haven't watched that show in years.
You know what I'm talking about.
Reverse Flash. I think that's actually
Reverse Flash.
It's Reverse Flash.
I said that in my head.
Because
I was
he's
like,
yellow
that's
and
not
red.
Right.
Yeah.
That's dumb. It's not that.
Yeah, but it's comic books.
It's dumb.
It's dumb. But anyways, so basically what they did is they sent out a bunch of different ships, all going to potential planets.
And one of them had a Matt Damon in it.
One of them had a Matt Damon. And Matt Damon is crazy.
Ooh, man. Ooh, wouldn't you be too?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is nutso when they get him. I really do like Matt Damon in this one.
I love him. I think he's great in both of these.
So much better in The Martian.
Oh, dude. He gets a lot more time to like actually breathe.
Yeah.
And he's a much more charming.
Yeah, because
character.
He's a bad guy in Interstellar.
He is a bad guy,
and you don't know that until way too late.
Yep.
He or they don't know that until way too late. I mean,
but the purpose of those first launches were to see if there was any habitable planets,
and
beyond
out of 12, only 3 of them reported back.
Right.
Like, and
at all.
Yeah, at all, and only one of them looked absolutely promising.
Right.
So they were like, well, 3 possible planets. One of them looks more than the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
And
what you find out is, okay, so the one that landed on the water planet, that was obviously destroyed.
And that was in the time dilation thing.
Yeah.
And the way that the time works, they basically figured that she just landed, just had a wave crash on her, and probably just died.
Yeah. Yeah. And like at that point, as far as Earth time, it would have been like many years, multiple years.
See, that's an insane one to me, because landing on that planet would mean that by the time we reach that one, like, she would be well and gone, and like, even if she had established the thing, it seems like I don't know, man.
Yes.
That's a toughie.
Time dilation has broken us.
Yeah.
It's a lot to keep up with. But anyways, so you find out that there's only really one that is potentially truly inhabitable. And the only reason that they show up at Mark Wahlberg's planet, because he admits
Matt
at some
Damon.
point. Oh, Matt. God, fuck.
It's not Marky Mark, dude.
It's not Marky Mark.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Feel the vibration.
Yeah. Okay. So correct Scott time. It's Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Okay. And I said R&D referring to the sound before, and it's ADR.
It's ADR. Yeah.
Yeah. So now Scott has been corrected.
Moving on.
But okay. But Matt Damon pretty much tells McConaughey, I knew this planet wasn't inhabitable within the first day of being here, but
all I had to do was push that button.
all I had to do was push that button and somebody would come get me.
And he was like, "You're a fucking coward."
Yeah. Yeah. And dude, and that's such a good emotional moment right there, because he's just like, yeah,
Who wouldn't?
yes,
Who wouldn't do that?
yes.
Who wouldn't do
Yes,
that?
I am. I am a coward.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm all alone. And what am I supposed to do?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely does not hold up as well as he does in The Martian.
Oh no, he's the opposite kind of
Opposite.
astronaut.
Yeah. So essentially, the mission that McConaughey and Anne Hathaway and David Gatz.
And then
Gatsby?
the dude that really loves trash from
The dude that loves trash.
from
Yeah.
American Beauty. Dude, when they land on that water planet, he's giving him this look like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah,
did
because
you
he just
do?
fucking slams into the
Yeah.
fucking planet for the most part.
Sometimes you gotta whip it, man.
That's right.
You gotta whip it.
He's trying to be efficient. He's trying to get this shit done so he can get back to his kids.
Drifted into the fucking planet.
Yeah, dude.
So yeah, it's just like I think Interstellar is a very good movie, but thinking about it too much reveals its flaws.
Indeed.
Yeah. So
Indeed.
if you just take it for what it is, you'll have a wonderful time.
Yeah,
But
if you're there for really pretty space
it's right
spectacle,
there.
Yeah, mostly the space stuff.
Mhm.
I like in retrospect, I don't think the planets are quite as interesting as I would have liked. But again, they're technically supposed to be uninhabitable planets.
Yeah.
So I get the reasoning behind it. It's just not very interesting to look at.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's the stuff when they're in space. That's the most visually some of the most visually appealing space film ever.
It's very 2001 in parts.
Hugh's really close.
Yeah, man.
He was
real
really
close.
close.
Especially with some of those spinning moments with little sound.
Yeah,
Man.
like when they're going through the black hole. That was another dumb thing that I noticed, how the dude explains black holes to McConaughey. He does it the same way that Sam Neill did it in fucking Event Horizon. I was just like, this motherfucker.
I don't know what that movie is. Are you talking about Dinosaur Man Goes to Hell in Space?
Yes, that one.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I like Dinosaur Man Goes to Hell in Space.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, but you know, that's about as scientific as I don't know. Fucking Pets 2. It's like
you just stab a pencil through a piece of paper and that explains black holes.
That's how black holes work, dude.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, we've been making them for years in films.
Dude.
Why can't we make them in a lab?
That's right.
I see it right there. He made one. You see that?
Right.
I do like it when he's all like, well, yeah, but a hole in 3D is a sphere, and then you see it, and it's like, well, that is cool.
Yeah,
Really
cool.
I
mean, it definitely looks cool.
Uh-huh.
That's what this movie really is. Okay, they did so much research and tried to make this science as and the visuals as real to life as they could find with math. They just mathed at it, and they did all this research. For the spectacle, and the spectacle is wonderful.
and forgot about the people.
That's really its main flaw.
It's just like
It's-
Michael
and
Caine.
they
it's like
have-
Michael Caine intended in the story to forget about the humans.
That's right. Because eventually you learn like there was a plan B,
Mhm.
which was just this ark situation where they had all these embryos or whatever, like, frozen, and those were going to be used to repopulate the
Yeah.
Earth if they couldn't get the people off of Earth.
Mhm.
And then you come to find out Michael Caine never intended for Plan A to even be a factor,
And he didn't tell nobody.
He didn't tell nobody.
Well, Dr. Mann knew.
Well, Dr. Mann knew, and he eventually, right as he's dying, tells Murph, what is her name?
Yeah, what's her name? Because she's actually in both films as well.
Jessica Chastain.
Is there somebody else that's in both movies?
I think that's it. I think
No,
those
it's
are our
just the two
Kevin
of them.
Bacon.
It's just the two
Yeah.
of them.
So it's Matt
Okay.
Damon and Jessica Chastain.
Okay.
Yeah. Congratulations, guys. You are Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, both of you simultaneously.
Yeah. You are Kevin Bacon.
So, Matt Damon in Interstellar is a prick.
Oh, absolutely.
And Mars in The Martian is a prick.
So the roles have been reversed.
Now, it's also still the same situation. Matt Damon gets dicked by a planet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think we should move on to The Martian.
Yeah.
Was there do you have any final thoughts or
No, that's it.
about Interstellar?
Stop whispering. God damn it.
God damn it. Yes.
Stop whispering.
Yes. Stop whispering.
And that wasn't a handshake.
That one. No. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah.
Handshake.
Fucking handshake.
Fucking handshake. Okay. Well, cool. Yeah. Overall, decent enough movie.
I do have one more thing.
What's that?
Because it actually is my biggest complaint about the story.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot to go over this one thing.
Yeah.
You're fucking telling me that Space Ghost here encoded the formula to figuring out gravity from calculations inside of a black hole through the ticking of watch arms that this bitch happened to pick up off the ground at the right time, start taking notes from the beginning of the message, decipher this in Morse code transmitted on a watch, okay? And she used that to figure everything out that progresses humanity back into the future. Now, it's a cool idea. He sent a message back in time using the Tesseract to, that part's cool.
Yeah.
But that's the way he did it.
That's a little. Dude. This
Man,
movie
I would have believed
stretches.
it more if he left a hard drive on the bookcase.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Here's the hard drive.
Hey, Tars,
honey.
give me your hard drive.
Yeah.
I'll set this right here next to my little rover she keeps fucking knocking off. But yeah, that
Exactly.
that's
yeah.
the last thing that I have to say about this
Yeah.
movie is that it's got a major plot problem right there.
Yeah.
That even if everything else you can buy, I'm like bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit. So
Just
The Martian,
takes-
however,
However, The Martian.
there's not a single thing in this movie that
I
can
really
think
can't
of.
think of anything
Dude,
from this
it's-
movie that does not work.
It's a little funky with him doing the shot with the air out of the suit.
Oh, at the end when he's shooting himself.
That's
Well,
a little
that whole
funky.
thing is pretty fucking ridiculous.
But
but it makes logical sense within the universe.
It
you
is
know?
just a 1 in a million kind
It's
of thing.
that's the whole purpose of this movie.
One in a
The
million,
whole
yeah.
scenario of this movie
Uh-huh.
is a 1 in a million thing.
Dude,
You know,
it's a
it's a
slam
1 in a
dunk.
million chance that an astronaut will potentially get left on Mars.
Yeah.
When and if we ever go there.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's a 1 in a million chance that, should astronaut be left on Mars, he would even be able to survive past, that he would actually be able to grow food, that he would be,
You know what they should have done?
do all the things that he does in this movie. They're all 1 in a million chances, and that I think is why it's so fun to watch it, because, it really is just watching, it's like Ridley Scott internalized everything that people have been saying about the new Alien films just being full of dumb people. So he's just like, well, I'm going to make a whole movie full of the smartest people in the fucking
I'll
world.
show you a whole think tank of smart people.
That's right.
Just you wait. I know smart people.
I
Okay?
mean, this whole movie is just like in front and behind the camera, as well as within the story and the characters, is really just everybody masters of their craft, of their philosophy.
I mean, who all do we have in here? Because we got some star power, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
It's Matt Damon, Jessica Chastain, Kristen Wiig, Chiwetel Ejiofor,
Donald Glover, Jeff Daniels, Sean Bean,
and he makes it to the end.
He survives this one.
Jeez, I'm pretty sure that was in Revelation somewhere, guys.
It's the sign.
Yeah, but
yeah, dude. By the way, just
and,
really quick, dude.
Mike, what's his name?
Michael Pena, man.
Michael Pena.
I fucking love Michael
Yeah,
Pena.
dude.
God,
He's great in it. the thing is, dude.
And Bucky.
Bucky. Yeah, Bucky's
man.
in it, guys. You know, without his cyborg arm.
Fucking Bucky.
You know.
It's weird because he doesn't have a murder face the whole time, so I didn't recognize him. I was like, who is this nice gentleman here?
Yeah.
Oh, it couldn't be Bucky Murder Man.
Yeah.
No.
Bucky Murder Man.
He looks like I don't know, but yeah. I just didn't recognize him for like half the movie. It was funny.
So before we get too terribly deep into this movie, we have to do this twice on this episode.
Oh, yeah.
Philip, what had happened?
Oh, it's real simple. Scientists get stuck on Mars, and science is the shit out of it.
Science. Yeah.
That's it. That's the movie. There ain't even
It's
anything else
great.
to say about it.
That's it.
This is the weird thing.
This is a really yeah.
With the two of these films, right? You have to sell an idea for a Nolan film. You have to go, hey, check out this concept. Now, okay, we got a really long elevator pitch I got to go through before you'll even understand what I'm getting at. Right?
Yeah.
It's almost like Nolan's films go, now saying all of that, here's a movie.
And then takes a breath.
Yeah. and I think he's more graceful in some than others. You know,
right.
That
yeah.
happens. Like, I mean, obviously Memento is pretty fucking straightforward. Like,
Yeah,
that's probably
yeah.
his most straightforward of
Absolutely,
movies.
yeah.
But, you know, a lot of times, though, he kind of goes into this little maze. And
Yeah,
Ridley Scott doesn't really do the maze in his films.
No.
He's very much like, look, bad guy or bad thing or bad situation, hero or protagonist or cool person that you like, getting it done, this is what's up. He doesn't have to sell you on a concept for most things. I mean, Alien, it's really simple.
There's an alien. It kills people.
That shit's an alien.
It wants to kiss you with its little mouth.
Fucking acid blood. Like, it's really easy. Like, you're done with the concept. Oh man, this is bad. I kill it with fire.
We're in a tight spot.
But fire kills people in space. Shit. You know,
no.
See, like real easy. Or like Gladiator. Dude is badass, gets his life taken away from him, and then, you know, explain to me any Nolan film other than Memento within a sentence. You fucking can't.
Yeah.
You
Well,
can't.
it's just like okay, and especially with Interstellar, there's so many ideas floating around.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
You're constantly getting exposited to, you know, and you kind of are still getting exposited
He
to
doesn't do it the
in
same
The
way,
Martian,
though, man.
but
Not at all.
well,
none of them do it that way.
Well, it makes sense what he's saying, because it's also one of those things. It's just like a lot of times, and I do this a lot, you know, where I'll just, if I'm by myself and I'm trying to work something out, I'll talk it out. I'll say it to myself.
That's all he's doing,
and
man.
that's really all he's doing most of the time. Now, yes, he's also technically doing, like, you know, logs.
He's blogging.
He's blogging. He's fucking vlogging, you know, and it's great, you know, because it really does set up, you know, a chance for him to, like, you know, really exposit, but his character, Matt, what's his name? Matt or Mark.
Yeah, it's Mark.
It's Mark.
I was going to say Matt Damon.
Yeah, Matt Damon.
Mark Wahlberg.
No, it's
Marky
not Mark
Mark.
Wahlberg.
Is it Marky
It's
Mark goes to space?
It's Marky Mark goes to space. Whitney.
Oh yeah,
Whitney. You know, Mark Whitney.
Whitley.
Watney.
Whitley.
Mark.
Watry.
Let's just keep saying names.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Mark W.
So Mark Watney
Yeah.
is a botanist, is astronaut, left on Mars.
Yeah.
And, like, he really is set up to be one of the most charismatic characters I think Matt Damon has ever played.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
He really is, from the beginning of the movie, just, man, he's just the best guy.
Yeah.
Because, he's funny. He's not a jackass. He's incredibly smart. Top of his field.
Can be in charge, but
incredibly resourceful.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a guy that almost anybody can get behind as a character,
Yeah, especially
Easy
as
sell.
a lead.
Absolutely.
This is a guy that you want to see, get through this, not only because he's a character that you like, but you recognize that he is more than capable of solving these problems.
Oh, yeah.
This is a whole movie of showing, hey, guys, NASA's quick on their feet.
It's also really cool to see it happen from two different perspectives, because it's a group of scientists over here that are coming to the same conclusion as an individual on Mars. So it's like both of them are simultaneously figuring out the problems, and one of them might have a little bit of the answer over here, and the other one has a little bit of the answer over here, but both of them are still trying to meet in the same point.
Well, and I think that's more,
the natural, it's the most logical thing to do.
Right,
They're
exactly.
both actually doing the science correctly, trying to figure, oh, well, if he walked in this direction, what's he going for? He's going for this thing. Oh, shit, well, maybe we can make contact with that thing. If he's obviously trying to contact us, right? And they're going, and he's going, maybe if I get out here, then I could ping a signal, and maybe they'll happen to be looking in this direction, and then I can get a thing.
Yeah.
I
mean, it works out.
He got real lucky they were looking at him.
Yeah, absolutely.
He got real lucky that blonde girl was paying attention to the pictures.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just like, because early on, there's and that whole thing of they're coming to similar conclusions, but in different ways a lot of the time.
Yeah. With completely different information.
Is more apparent, especially at the beginning of the film, because there is no communication between Watney and NASA on Earth. None whatsoever. And it's just, I don't know, man. It's just so, it's exciting to watch him work through these very simple things, like, he only has so much food. How's he going to get more food? Well, he's going to take dirt from Mars, put it in an enclosed area, put some poop in it, and then grow potatoes. And he's just going to eat potatoes,
And anytime that they are explaining a thing.
And it's actually really exciting to watch him work through a lot of this.
Yeah. And anytime he's explaining one of those things he's doing, he's not talking down to the audience in some kind of like, hey, you don't understand the way this piece of paper folds.
Yeah.
There's none of
that.
that.
I'm going to put a pencil through it.
Yeah, it never happens at that level. It's way more well, this is what I'm doing today. It looks like I only have this much LN2 and I got to get this to get, and he's saying things that, he's explaining to you what he's doing, but he's not trying to dumb it down or talk in some kind of way that,
this movie just feels a lot more.
You.
Yeah, this movie just feels a lot more human.
He's just talking like he would. It sounds like a guy
just talking to you,
just talking to him.
Instead of a bunch of ones and zeros being thrown at you.
Instead of just a bunch of plot points being brought up.
Absolutely.
Hey, here's plot points I need to bring up. Which other plot point did I need to bring up? Oh yeah, that one. Okay, yeah. That's the way all of Interstellar feels while it's explaining what's happening. It feels like it. I guess I got to explain that to them, or they're not going to get it.
Yeah.
I guess I got to explain that to them. And that does not happen in The Martian, dude.
At all.
Like there's so many hell. Let's take this one, which I love so much.
Oh yeah.
The Lord of the Rings comment.
Oh yeah, where
all three of the boys in the room immediately make a comment about Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
that all three of them make like a little funny little like personal comment, basically explaining like, no, we get this joke.
Yeah,
and,
we get the joke.
You
guys.
don't get this joke.
Yeah.
But they don't do it in such a way where
what was it? They named a kind of rushed project. What is it? Project Elrond.
Yeah, Project Elrond.
Yeah.
And she's all like, Project Elrond? What's that? Well, it's the High Council that they had to bring the One Ring to during Lord of the Rings. And then the other one's like, so they all throw these things out, and she's like, fucking nerds,
Yeah,
like,
pretty much. Yeah.
And that's such a good one, because that's how naturally, if that happened in a room with a bunch of nerds, that's the way it would go. Because one of them would be like, fucking duh. I mean, it's like the time when Vegeta was
this shit's over 9,000.
Don't you know about that over 9,000? They're like, nerd,
fucking nerd. Yeah. But no, even more like that, just going back to Watney and the way they use exposition with him.
Oh, yeah.
It's, again, most of the time it's just him making a fucking vlog.
Yeah.
Carrying out the logs and whatnot and documenting things for posterity just in case he doesn't make it.
Yeah.
Somebody can find it and see, here's the record of... Mark Watney, Martian, space pirate.
Pirate. Yeah. Captain Yellowbeard.
Captain Yellowbeard. I love it.
Man, I love that shit. Well, he is technically under maritime law.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he explained it to me. like that right there. That's the...
Yeah, yeah. When he's talking about when he's trying to create moisture for his potato farm.
Yeah.
And he's explaining... how he's put this thing together, because he essentially has to create fire and have I don't really understand what how that piece of equipment works.
You got a bag, you got heat goes up, heat creates moisture, it hits the top, it drips back down. He's just making a vapor chamber. But he has to create heat, so you need fire, and he's using explosives to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And apparently fire, makes you die in space.
Fire makes you die in space. That's really...
But he keeps putting in these little...
Hey, that's why fire makes me nervous.
Yeah.
That's why.
Kind of worth watching that movie just for that line. We've gotten so much out of that one.
And nothing else from the film.
And nothing else from Pink Flamingos. But like I said, man, it's just even though he's expositing, even though he's it's done well, not just because there are these little cute one-liners that kind of make you chuckle, or man, some of them even have me on the floor.
Oh my god!
But you feel his humanity while he's doing it.
The disco shtick.
Oh, dude, that's funny.
Why did he leave a sorry note for a poop on Mars?
Yeah.
Who the fuck cares?
No one's going to care about your poopology.
They should have just showed the next time somebody went to Mars and they land, and then he just gets
he
off and
sees it.
No. Steps right in it. He's like, "Aw." And then that's the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Somebody stepping in his shit on Mars. Boom. Yeah,
dude.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Well, he said sorry.
Well, he did say sorry. Yeah.
But I think this is a cool one, the way that they, show him as being so skinny.
Towards the end, yeah.
You can tell they did some movie magic there. He definitely got skinnier, but he did not get that skinny.
He didn't. No, because that's almost
dude, that's
emaciated. Or, yeah.
He's not gonna Christian Bale it. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
You shouldn't.
No,
that's bad.
Nobody should do that.
That's bad for you.
I mean, thank you, Christian Bale, for being amazing.
Damn, dude.
Dude, don't do that. Just don't.
Don't do that.
Yeah, but I like his journey. I like that he holds himself together mentally, even though some of the worst things happen to him. He loses all hope.
Well, and I think that's another
times,
reason. Yeah, I think that's another reason why he talks to himself so much is to keep himself from going crazy. Yeah.
He's just trying to keep himself going.
It's
man.
like he says, at the end of the movie, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna sulk? Or are you gonna get to work?
Yeah.
And that's really the whole point of this film is just you're in these bad situations, but there's a way out. You just gotta get to work.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's to me, The Martian.
The Martian feels a lot more optimistic.
Exactly, and it is a pinnacle of what I would say is the pride of humanity.
Yeah,
which is fucking resourcefulness. Like it doesn't matter what mythology you're talking about, and I mean if you're talking about sci-fi, if you're talking about fantasy, if you're talking about just human history, if you're talking about whatever, the thing that we always get the bonus for is resourcefulness.
Yeah.
People are good at figuring it out. And this motherfucker figured it out by himself for like a year and a half. Maybe a year and a third. Whatever.
Year and a third, I think. Yeah.
Because
it was a while.
Dude. This is it's almost like that guy that what's that movie with wow, everything just went away.
Oh no.
The one where the guy gets
Mind
trapped.
wipe.
Yeah, he gets trapped in the rock and has to cut his leg off. It's got you know what I'm talking about at all? It's got man, why can't I think of that fucking dude's name? The disaster artist guy.
James Franco?
James Franco.
Oh, okay.
Franco, yeah.
I don't know if I know the movie.
There's a
that
James
you're
Franco
talking about.
movie where he like is this guy that gets trapped behind a boulder when he's mountain climbing and has to cut his leg off and then figure out how to get back to, it's like one of those things where it's like, God damn, a person did that.
Yeah, I survived.
And there of course isn't some kind of actual, I survived Mars story, but if it did, this
kind of feels like it would have been in some kind of biopic.
Yeah.
It was kind of filmed that way.
This is a pre-biopic to a future event that hasn't happened
yet. Yeah.
This is predestination of our achievements later.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say though, you know what would have totally fixed a lot of this problem?
What's that?
If they had this Elon Musk reusable
Reusable
rocket situation.
Rockets, man.
They were a couple years back, man. Too bad.
Yeah.
He was watching that movie going, no, I can fix this.
I can fix
this.
They will not leave a man on Mars.
It's ridiculous.
But I also love it too. Is like Matt Damon's character, Watney, is constantly like patting himself on the back for it too, because he's just like, hey, so they were talking about. I was reading this thing where once you've been able to establish, grow plants on an inhabited planet, you've officially colonized it.
That's
so
right.
I
colonized Mars.
I just colonized Mars.
Boy.
And just kind of always doing like giving himself like positive boosts.
Yep.
It's just like, hey man, I'm actually doing this. It's really cool. And it's like at the end when they're talking about like, because he's got to go to this like launch shuttle.
Yeah.
For like another Mars mission.
A future Mars mission.
That they've already sent to the place.
Yeah.
It's just kind of sitting there waiting to be used.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got to go there, and then he's got to disassemble it. Essentially go into space with no controls, nothing but one seat, no windows, no top.
It's kind of like if you took
no
a car
life support
on an interstate going downhill, and all you had was a seat, the frame, and wheels.
You just
pretty
pushed
much yourself onto the interstate. We're like, yay!
And he's sitting here like complaining, and he's just like, so they just they don't they keep telling me I'm going to be the fastest man in the history of space travel.
Like
so I won't think about how stupid this is.
He was like, physicists don't use words like fast.
Yeah. It's like, and they think I'd be proud of this. Actually, I am kind of proud of this.
Sounds good.
Sounds pretty good to me. I mean, I'm not going to tell them that.
So hopefully they got to watch his fucking blogs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It was like I'm sure they had future Mars missions.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody found that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had to have. But yeah, and it's shit like that. Like,
yeah,
that was an exciting climax right there, And when he's like Iron Manning it to through the last stretch, about to get caught by his like captain, because his crew found out that he was left on Mars.
And they went back for him.
They went back for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so she catches him like mid space, and there's this beautiful scene. It's my favorite, like visually, it's my favorite scene in the whole movie when they're spinning and they finally come together. He's finally got like all the tension is good. It's fine. Here's the relieving moment, and they're spinning, and it's this like orange not really a rope, like a strap.
Like a ratchet strap.
Yeah,
kinda.
like a ratchet strap that's kind of connected to her, like, the jetpack or whatever. And they're just spinning, silhouetted by, Mars right there. And it's just all this orange ribbon essentially just floating around them in space. And that one visual is the culmination of, like, everything in this movie. It's just like, that is the climax for me. It's just so peaceful and serene after this really intense moment, and it's just such a good. It's the most artful looking part of the of this movie, and I love it.
Yeah.
So
I love Donald Glover.
Yeah, Donald Glover's great.
I think that this is potentially like Kristen Wiig's best acting role.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I've seen her in a couple other things where I'm like, oh yeah, she's pretty good. Like I think she's pretty good in Bridesmaids, for instance.
Yeah,
like that's a decent one. I don't
love
Paul.
That movie. I liked her in Paul. But this is very much a departure from just like
shit. That was her in Paul.
Yeah, it was.
Shit, that was awesome. Okay, yeah, man, yeah, wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, the thing is just, like, we've known for a while. This was one of the first roles that I'd seen her in.
And then you were like, whoa, she's an actor.
Whoa.
I thought she was
she
just
can
silly.
do more than just, she can be more than just silly.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa, and you'd seen hints of that before, but never played up this well, because she's still funny in this.
She is.
She is still funny, but she's funny in the same way that just about everybody in this movie is kind of funny.
Like I said when we were watching it, I feel like this movie's written like a show like House. Like the dialogue is written that kind of banter. It's like House, or it's like
just any of those like procedural, like, hey, here's smart people talking to other smart people shows.
But well written.
The well written ones. Yeah.
That's why I say House, at least for the first however many seasons.
Yeah.
But I'll continue to watch that show because of Cuddy, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
So
fucking
Cuddy. So comparing the two films. Yeah. So, because I think we pretty much said all we have to say about The Martian. The Martian's not a complicated movie, dude.
It's really not. It's very simple. It's very lean.
It's just fun.
Yeah,
it's fun,
and it fucking works.
It works on the cerebral side because you go, oh man, this is a cool concept. Yeah, whoa, he's doing the science. Yay.
Yeah,
and then it works on the just fun movie side because even if you don't understand the nitty gritty of the science,
Matt Damon is playing a really fun character. And you just enjoy.
You want him to win.
Yeah, exactly.
Please
You're rooting for him the whole time.
Yeah, so they do such a good job of balancing the film out. I think it's an extremely well balanced movie, and I find Interstellar to be a lopsided film that's emotionally manipulative.
I feel you.
Okay, I don't think it's a bad movie, but watching it again, there are some things where they didn't polish the story in a way that made sense. They just kind of went, well, it's because I said so, now let's move on.
Yeah.
And that happens. Okay, whatever.
And you can make good films with that.
You can. I just think
it's just when you're trying to show your work at the same time.
You can't do both things, dude.
Yeah.
You can't fucking do both things. Yeah. You can't just go, well, the Force is the Force, and then go, well, the Force is also midichlorians.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you can do that. Fuck.
Yeah. See what you did, Lucas?
You made people go back on their word.
Yeah.
But no, I just, I think that also the emotional manipulation, which I was talking about, is one of my issues with Interstellar, because they ramp up the cryy family. Look at this emotional situation, which is good, and man, they're cool. They're
it
real
works separately, but as a whole, man,
as
it
a
just
whole
doesn't really come together.
Yeah, whereas The Martian is very focused with what it's doing.
Absolutely.
Here's the science story. You still have an emotional connection to Watley and his situation, but at no point are you like, fuck, man, like he's the same age as her now in time, and like it never gets to that point in The Martian. You just kind of go, damn, this tight spot.
Yeah, we're in a tight spot.
Man, Mark Wahlberg's in a tight spot.
Yeah, exactly.
The two films though, I feel like have a similar thing going on.
Yeah,
They still have a similar tone in a weird way.
Yeah.
They have a similar feeling as far as film in that time frame, that like 2015 kind of time frame.
Yeah.
It feels like that. They both have a very, it's a yin and yang of these kind of movies.
Kind of, yeah.
But if you had to pick one of them, if you were going to recommend to someone that had not seen either of these films, they had $5. Both films were $5. They were buying one sci-fi movie, and these are the only two sci-fi movies on the fucking shelf. Then which one would you tell them to buy?
The Martian.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
Okay.
100%.
Okay.
Not that I would say, hey man, maybe save up another $5 and then in a couple weeks come back and get Interstellar.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But yeah, absolutely, The Martian.
I think that in general, I say I completely agree with you, unless you're like a home theater nerd. And although I said that the audio has some problems, witnessing this film in ultra 4K Blu-ray.
And you're talking about Interstellar.
Yeah. Like with the better mixed surround sound parts.
Yeah.
Is pretty outstanding.
Absolutely.
It's fucking outstanding.
Yeah,
this is like a benchmark of your system kind of thing. Like
it's kind of like a crisis for PC.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Like,
let's see how good your TV looks. You want to see? Let's
you want to
see
how good your TV looks? Interstellar.
Not that The Martian would look bad. I bet it looks fucking great on 4K.
Yeah, about to say.
Bet it does.
It looked
Might
pretty
even
good to me.
Get that one on 4K.
Absolutely.
But dude, Interstellar is beautiful. But The Martian's so much better. So
it's
much
just
easier
a better
of a
movie
recommend,
overall. Yeah.
If my parents were asking me for a movie, it'd be The Martian. I'd give them that one. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
If somebody that was like The Martian is almost a movie that you could show to kids at school, like high school kids. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like hey, it's science class, but we don't have shit to do, so we're gonna watch a science movie that they're not gonna disapprove of. Let's watch The Martian.
Yep.
Solid. You know?
Absolutely.
That's a good one. And then at the end of the class, you can go, hey guys, what'd you think of fucking Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah. This motherfucker growing potatoes
in his shit. Don't do that, kids. Don't go home and grow potatoes and shit.
You don't need to here. That was an extreme situation.
That might be the problem with The Martian, is it doesn't have a disclaimer at the bottom that says, do not attempt any of these things at home. It's like, do not attempt.
You are not on Mars.
You are not in this situation.
You are not in this situation.
Yeah, I really do like both of these movies, though. I'd like it. I'd love to see another Ridley Scott sci-fi film, and this also
kind of in the same
vein.
Yeah.
But this also makes me think: what if Christopher Nolan made more heady, weird sci-fi that doesn't have to make complete sense? What if he actually grabbed onto those reins and took a hold of a series that, like, we both love, that maybe it would take an insane man like him to actually do?
Right.
Evangelion.
Christopher Nolan Evangelion.
With help by Guillermo del Toro.
I was about to say, man. I was just like, man, he's probably going to need to get some help from Guillermo
del Toro. Yeah. And del Toro's like, I already have the sketches.
Yeah. Put out my notes. The Eva notebook.
I wrote this in 95.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking down. As soon as that shit came out.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
But I really did enjoy watching both of these movies again. That was pretty fun, man. I think we should do another compare and contrast. Maybe maybe not next week. Well, okay, so we have one more. No, we're doing Halloween next month.
Oh next we are doing Halloween.
So what's our first Halloween movie then?
Let's see. We talked about a few.
Yeah. So I think we already have 4 narrowed down.
Narrowed down potentially.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Let's get the stickiest one out of the way. I think we were talking about High Tension.
Oh, you want to go ahead and get into High Tension?
That's a sticky movie.
I'm going to order that one then.
Okay.
And it should get here within the next couple of days.
Sweet.
And you guys are in for a treat of a sadistic French serial killer film.
Yeah, and it easily within, like, This was one of the more, I think, subversive, at least for the time, kind of horror films.
Totally.
It kind of came out around that same time as like The Descent and when shit like that was coming out.
Yeah.
And like Hostel.
Hills Have Eyes.
The Hills Have Eyes remake. You know, just that was the environment. And this one really kind of stands out from all of those.
Well, it feels a little bit more real than all of them.
Yeah.
Okay. This High Tension is not so fantasy, and it feels a little too close to home. It's a little bit more like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Agreed.
In that something like Hills Have Eyes go all the way out into the like, whoa, wouldn't this be crazy? It's like this one's like in any town.
Yeah.
You know, like
so be looking for that, guys, next week. Also check us out on Anchor and Spotify and YouTube, and I'm sure there's one more that I'm not remembering right now, but
do we SoundCloud?
I don't think we SoundCloud quite yet. I think we might Outcast.
We might have to,
Overcast.
Overcast? Do we
Yeah.
Overcast? Well, it's okay. Look
Either
for us,
way,
guys.
look for us, guys. We're on places. Philip, final thoughts?
Yeah. Make sure to science the shit out of every day.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye.